You have to put your heart and your soul into the things you do. And that is our principle in the company. In my family, it's something that is non-negotiable. It's a challenge to maintain those heritage and the values and integrating all the new technology and information and the new way of shopping for the next generation like e-commerce.
Learn from the best with Unpacking Success, the DHL e-commerce podcast with Pablo Ciano.
Welcome to Unpacking Success, the podcast where we go beyond the headlines to explore the people and the platforms that are shaping e-commerce around the world. Today, I have the pleasure of having with me a leader in e-commerce in Thailand. She's doing an amazing job transforming a very traditional business into an omnichannel e-commerce leader. Please help me welcome Kattleya Manathanya. Kat, very happy to have you with me. Thank you for joining the podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you very much. And as I was saying in the introduction, you are not only transforming the distribution channels from traditional B2B to omnichannel e-commerce, but you're also introducing different products, and you're also transforming the company from a cultural perspective to position it for success for the many decades ahead of you. So very happy to have you here, and so much that we need to talk about.
I think so too.
So you work for BSCM Group, a leading rice producer and manufacturer with almost 90 years of history. So maybe you can walk us through a little bit the company. What do you do, and what does BSCM stand for?
Basically, we are Thai Chinese. The name is Bang Su Chia Meng. Bang Su is a district in Bangkok. It's where we really start milling our rice, like the first bag is in Bang Su. Chia Meng is Chinese word. My husband's family is Chinese, but his great-grandfather came from China like so many years ago, like almost 100 years ago. And Chia Meng is mean knowing something clear and well. So together it mean Bang Su. Chia Meng is the location and the intention.
So the company is, if I'm not wrong, is 88 years old, right? Is that correct?
Yes, correct. This year is 88 years old.
Wow, that's amazing. And the main activity is still producing and selling rice.
Exactly. We are expert in terms of Thai Jasmine rice.
Jasmine rice, yeah, because it's interesting. When I was looking into the different products that you sell, I came across the Golden Phoenix brand. And I remember I used to live 20 years in the U.S. In a very small community with a little supermarket there. And I remember that we could find the Golden Phoenix rice there. So it's impressive, that you have with some of the brands, you have a global distribution channels, right?
Yes, we do. I think right now they are exporting to more than 50 countries around the world.
How long have you been working for BSCM?
I have been married like almost 20 years, but I have been working for the family business for just about 10 years.
How was it to join a family business? What type of barriers did you experience when you were trying to introduce changes with such a strong and successful culture?
Okay, you can imagine 88 years. We have a lot of heritage, long legends, and a lot of, good things that the previous generation has, done for us. To work in the family business, it means like integrity, culture, and we have to hold all these values into the next generation because they have done so well, and we are the fourth generation right now. So the pressure is like we have to do very well, at least, not worse than before.
Yeah.
And I think with the world changing so fast in my generation, a lot of things is happening and it's changing very quick. It's not slowly happening. It's a challenge to maintain those heritage and the values and integrating all the new technology and information and the new way of shopping for the next generation like e-commerce.
And how you went through that journey? How did you begin implementing some of the changes?
When I first started working with the family business, there was no e-commerce at all in our company. We just used to, exporting, sending out all of our rice in containers, right? There was no like shipping by bag. And rice is so heavy and there's a lot of difficulties to start. But my father-in-law said, okay, Kat, we have seen the world. We know it's the new future. It's the way we have to go. Can you make it happen? And that's all he says. So starting from like very small, I have a small team. I have to work my way out on how to set up this e-commerce. How can we change a consumer behavior from buying rice in the supermarket for them to willing to, click and collect and, for us to find someone to ship our rice to their house. It's very challenging. But step by step, it took me a few years just to get, on my feet and set up a proper team and keep it rolling until now.
You summarize in 1 minute what companies are trying for decades to do, right? But so maybe we can double click a little bit and deep dive into the details of that journey. And how did you begin developing this transformation that you refer to?
First, of course, we know that consumer behavior is changing. We are adapting to the new world, like digital world. But like you said, where to start? We have to start where the consumer are. So we take a look in Thailand, right? Almost 10 years ago, I think e-commerce in Thailand doesn't really exist yet. It's still new to us. All the technology and the internet and smartphone was not so well adopted at like this time. I have to overcome a lot of, points. For example, we used to sell a product in a big bulk, big container. And now our warehouse needs to pick like 1 bag, 2 bags, 3 bags. We need to change the way of working. But I have to convince them because you can imagine if we are a factory selling like tons of rice at a time, and now they have to pick like 5 kilo bag of rice, 10 kilo bag of rice. They don't want to pick it up. They don't want to do it. There are like some resistance in the way of working. I have to go there and show them some example. I even have to, set up a small packing station in the garage, like our company garage. And I go down with my admin staff and pack it up by ourselves during the first time, just to show them that it's work and it's the future. We have to work really hard to show them it could be like hundreds of thousands. It could be like millions of bags at the end. So my persistence and stubbornness is what bring us here. Another thing is rice is very bulky. It's cheap and it's heavy. To make the cost of shipping work for consumer is tricky. But I can see that we will talk about it, how DHL can, being a big part at my turning point to make this work. I think DHL has played important part for this story.
That's great. That's great. It's a fantastic story. It's like a startup, but with a big company. So you were a little bit, when you mentioned it was you were packing and picking the rice in the garage. So maybe you can talk a little bit about how you went through the decision process of where to sell and which distribution channels to choose.
First of all, rice is like commodity product. It can be everywhere. Especially in Thailand, everybody eat rice. So it makes sense for us to go mass as much as possible. We are not niche. So the quickest way to jumpstart is to go with all the, platform e-commerce, which is already available in Thailand. At that time, it was Shopee and Lazada. I think Lazada got into Thailand first, and then next is Shopee. Lazada was my answer at that time. E-commerce in Thailand started from selling a lot of electronic and fashion items. And those items can give them lots of commissions and percentage that they can take. But for rice, it's a commodity product, especially in Thailand. It's a product that government control the price.
Wow.
You cannot simply just sell rice at any price you want in Thailand. So you can imagine how much of the margin we have left to play. But we want to make it work. So I go and talk to Lazada and say, okay, look, we are Thai rice. We are well known. We are everywhere in offline market. we want to start being online, but you need to help us. Nobody have done any rice e-commerce in Thailand before, but we want to be the first one. And we were the first one. And with that, it's opened our door, and they would allow us to have a special rate in the first place to start keep things rolling.
That's great. And yeah, because you're right, those platforms usually are more focusing on technology and fashion. And I can imagine that when you went to see them some time ago and say, hey, I want to sell rice on Lazada, they might have looked at you and say, are you sure? But you proved to be right, which is great. By now, you might have some other competitors selling rice also on the platforms. How do you manage to differentiate and catch the attention of the consumers? What do you do?
The most important thing for us is we have to keep understanding our consumer. I think consumers are evolving and changing over times too. So we have to keep ourselves updated to understand what do they need right now. What do they need yesterday or last year might not be what they need today. And to the younger gen consumer, they do not only want rice. They want rice with more experience. And this is how we get into the gamification marketing with Lazada. I think we are the only brand trying to introduce experience with gamification marketing to our rice consumers. Because normally rice is a boring product.
Yeah.
You don't have to do much with rice.
Yeah.
And nobody even think about playing game and then you will get rice. And having this chance to do something fun for them, I think it will be the good experience to feel related to the brand and be more accepted to the old heritage brand like us.
That's amazing because in one sentence, you put a lot of words that in general will be very difficult to connect. Online, rice, experience. How can you give experience to rice? As you're saying, it's a very difficult thing. And gamification seems to be the main tool or mechanism that you're using. I think I would need to help the audience understand how that works because at least, to be honest, I have never bought rice online. I usually buy it in the supermarket. And I am not that much of a gamification person. So you need to help us understand how does that work? How do you put all of these pieces together to make it attractive to consumers?
Right now, all of the e-commerce platform, they have this new technique to keep you with their platform for longer. What Lazada is doing, they create this farming game. And the more you visit and water your plants, it will keep growing and growing. And in the end, you can harvest it and get a real bag of rice. So this clever mechanic, it will keep consumer coming back, for more. More of the technical things are from them, like how to make the games work and everything. But we talk to them in terms of marketing way. Okay, we can support them by, providing this bag of rice. We have to think about how to send it out because lots of people are interested in playing this game. And as a result, we have to send out so many bags of rice. And we have to make it work. We have to make it fast.
And so you have now these channels already running. So marketplaces, Lazada, as you mentioned, but you also still have the supermarket. I assume that you're still selling through supermarket. And you also have your own retail channels. Maybe you can give us a sense of how important the online channel is. How is it growing? Is it growing faster than the other channels? Maybe a little bit of information about that for the audience would be very useful.
Buying food is still more of a physical touch. People still prefer to go to supermarket, touch and feel and smell and buy food. They want to select. They want to be able to enjoy looking at new things and try new things in the supermarket. But a lot of time you don't have, that much of a time to spend in the supermarket for such a long time. And your rice at home is out. And that's where the e-commerce comes in. It fills in your busy life, but it doesn't replace the way people shop totally. It's just an additional sales that you get. and which is good because being online is not only creating sales for us, it's also reach to consumer more. And it's also allow us to be able to talk to them, to get to know them. In the past, our customer are distributor, retailers, but now to consumers, we can hear their voice. We can listen to what they think. This is the beauty of e-commerce or direct-to-consumer approach.
Did that influence, to some extent, also the transformation that you did with your products? Because if I read correctly, you evolve your product into different type of ready to cook or ready to eat and different type of flavors with additional type of spices or ingredients from the traditional Jasmine rice to something else. So how did all of this online journey influence your product design and how you were customizing the products to the online preferences?
To be able to listen to the consumer voice, we get a lot of data. And once we process that, we know what they feel and what they really think about the product and what more do they want. How can we make them feel even happier with our product? And I think right now, starting from just to make a different pack, to make a different size of the product is a basic thing that we could change, right? But to see the insight of the consumers, of how their life are changing, how busy they are, how difficult they have to cook by themselves every day, despite the traffic in Bangkok, which is really bad. I mean, you spend lots of time on the road. And coming home, you already feel fatigued and you need something like quick, but good qualities. And that's where our ready-to-eat rice comes in.
So we talk a little bit about distribution channels. We talk about online, different products. You mentioned in the conversation that DHL was important in this journey, and I'm glad to hear that. And thank you for your trust and for your business. Maybe not only about DHL, but in general, a significant portion of the success of going online is logistics. Because as we all know, when you have more of a B2B type of business, delivering to different type of consumers or a more sophisticated distribution to consumers is not needed. But of course, when you go online, yes, it is. So how did you have to change the overall distribution? How important was having a partner like DHL in that journey? And which were the main challenges that you faced in terms of logistics?
When I first thinking about e-commerce, I think, it's okay. Just put all the product online and then people just buy and that's it. Easy. I didn't think about how to send it to their house, to their home. I cannot just sell. I have to deliver the product. I have to deliver the promise. I have to deliver the legends, the legacy of the family to their home, to their table, to their kitchen. It was difficult because at that time, our product is so heavy. It's so bulky. Nobody wants to work with it. They only want to work with beautiful clothes and cosmetic. But I got a chance to talk to the DHL Thailand team. And they took our request into consideration, go back and work how to help. And they come back with a solution. How to make sure that the box of rice that will be sent to the consumer will survive in a good condition. So I have to say thank you to you, in terms of, creating this opportunity for Thai people. This is what they said, one of the consumer voice. Oh, the rice is good, we know, because my mom used to buy for me, my dad used to cook for me. I have been eating this rice since I was young. But right now, I live in Bangkok and I don't have time. I didn't expect that the good quality rice that I used to get from supermarket, carrying it back by myself, putting it in my car and drive home. And now it would arrive to my door in such a perfect condition.
Wow.
And it makes them happy.
Great.
And it makes me happy too.
I'm pretty sure that the entire Thailand DHL e-commerce team is going to be super happy to hear your compliments. And we are the ones to thank you because these are the stories that make us feel very proud of what we do every single day. A lot of what you describe is related to mindset and culture. One of your mantras or your themes in the company is happiness for all involved, which is very close to DHL's also mindset. We have in our company this also very important theme that is creating a great place to work for all. We participate in the Great Place to Work global rankings, and we're very proud to be very highly ranked almost everywhere externally by this organization, Great Place to Work. And it looks like your organization is very similar as well, right? This happiness for all involved seems to be also very much in line with what DHL is promoting. How this happiness for all involved mindset came up? Was something that was there before you came in? Was something that you introduced? Maybe you can speak a little bit about that type of mindset, please.
I think it has been with our family ever since. We treat everybody in the company like family. This is what my father-in-law has always tell me. But now we are a very big family with so many, I don't know how many thousands of people we have in our company right now. But it's always start with the beginning. And we sell rice, so it's always start with the farmers. I think we did have a lot of programs to go back and look at the way we treated the farmers in Thailand, the way we help them and support them. And it's a win-win situation because the more we support them and help them, the more happiness everybody will have from the rice that they sell. You have to be present. You have to be there with them. You have to put your heart and your soul into the things you do. And that is our principle in the company. In my family, it's something that is non-negotiable. It's the value and it's the culture that we carry from generation to generation.
You talk about mindfulness, right? And mindfulness can mean a lot of different things to different people. I think that if you ask 10 different people what mindfulness is, they will have 10 different answers. What does mindfulness or mindful practices mean to you?
If you are a mindful person, you will not be panicking so much. At least you will look at the problems, address the situation, and take a deep breath to think about how to solve it. And I guarantee the result will always be better than rushing in, and being panicking about what is happening in front of you. And sometimes it's numb your brain. You cannot think clearly. A lot of the problems are not big. It's just tangled. You cannot see where it starts and where it comes from. You just need to take a minute to be with yourself and think about what it is actually and slowly solve it, And sometimes this will give you a clearer picture of how to do things, how to solve the problems and be more efficient.
Very nice. I will borrow that concept that some problems are not big, they are tangled. Because you're right, sometimes there's too much noise. And since, everything is tangled, you don't know where it starts and where the solution might be. So I will borrow that concept of some problems are not that big, sometimes they are tangled. That's great. So talking about sustainability, we talked about the new sustainability rice practices, the SRP, right? If I'm not wrong, the SRP, which is a new methodologies that are being promoted in order to grow rice in a more sustainable way. Sustainability is at the core of DHL strategy. So, of course, any company that also embraces a sustainable business and sustainable practice is definitely someone like you that we want to continue supporting and partnering with. So maybe you can share a little bit about how you are approaching this new chapter in sustainability and sustainability in particular related to how you grow rice.
The SRP, just short from Sustainable Rice Platform. To make it simple, it's just a way of planting rice that would reduce the greenhouse effect. From the study, it's proven to be reduced by 64% of these gas. So the more we use this new method into planting rice, the better the planet would be in terms of environmental. This is the heritage that we need to send over to our next generation. Not only just the bag of rice, but it should represent the responsibility and the commitment to save the planet and to treasure it.
And that is very much aligned with what in particular young consumers are telling us, that the entire, of course, sustainability of the products that they buy is becoming more and more important. It's interesting to see that we are offering now consumers to choose, if they want to, a delivery package that has a lower CO2 footprint if they pay an extra fee for their air leg of the value chain. And we are seeing significant adoption. It's incredible how consumers are more and more opting in to help, us reduce our CO2 footprint and be able to fly their parcels more and more with sustainable aviation fuel. So it's great that also across all the different value chains, from rice production to distribution, this mindset of protecting the planet and leaving a planet for future generations that is going to be as, in good shape as possible is embraced by companies like yours and companies like DHL as well. So, Kat, we have talked about a lot, but it will be very good to learn from you. What do you do on a daily basis to stay grounded, to stay balanced? You might have a lot of pressure from all the different angles of your business. Do you have any habits, any routines, any protocols that you follow every single day that helps you be in that mindful state that you were describing?
I think what I do has more meaning than just the bag of rice. And I feel like I send all this happiness to families all around the world. It makes me so proud that every morning I feel I have energy to wake up and let's do something new. Let's do something fun. Let's do some changes. A lot of things, you need a lot of energy to do that. You have to be able to push yourself. And I want to try something new all the time, just to not keep myself behind. This is one of the habits that I have. There will always have to be something new, something playful every year in my business.
That's great. That's great. And your happiness is contagious, I have to tell. Your team members are very lucky to have you, because I can feel that, this mindset of happiness for everyone involved is very present and very sincere. So as part of your overall diversification and growth strategy, you are venturing now into retail with also retail stores that are geared towards healthy food and healthy lifestyle. How did that come up as a potential business opportunity? Who came up with that idea? And how does that fit in your overall strategy?
I think the idea came from my mother-in-law. She said, okay, we would like to know about consumers. We want to get close to them. So let's open the traditional store. It was I think 15 years ago. At that time, we don't have so much of e-commerce in Thailand. So the only way to get be close to consumers is to have a store. It's her thinking of being able to listen to the consumer voice. So we have these stores, but we cannot just sell rice, right? In our life, we cannot just simply eat rice and be fulfilled in a day. We have to eat something else with the rice too. So she said, okay, let's do some, supermarket, small supermarket, but what to sell? At that time, she was already a bit of an age, and a lot of health problems starting to appear. So she feels that, okay, because what she have had, eat and everything in the past, it's what it is today. So if we want to open a supermarket, let's do a healthier one. Let's do something that we are proud of, because we sell such a good rice. We don't want them to eat it with something that is not good for them. Let's select something healthier. And that's how we start a healthy store.
Nice. That's great.
Yeah, 10 years past. Right now, we have about 34 locations in Bangkok and all around online.
That's great. Well, next time when I go to Bangkok, I will definitely stop in one of those stores and see if I can buy some healthy
I will show you
foods
around.
And do you sell these healthy products also in the other channels, like again Lazada or Shopee?
Definitely. We are always about reaching to consumers. I'm kind of used to bringing all of the product to our consumer easily.
And those healthy products are all also manufactured by you, or you are buying from other manufacturers?
we are working with a lots of small businesses in Thailand. So this is another opportunity, like another stage for a smaller business who produce such a good quality product to be able to have a place to retail.
That's great. I can see a little bit of a connection between the happy farmers and the happy now small producers. Is a little bit of the same concept. Of course, the happy farmers are the ones that are giving you this extraordinary rice, and the happy small producers are giving you all the other type of healthy products that you are selling through your distribution channel. So really looks like your product family is expanding in a very significant way, as well as true omnichannel, because as we said, you have B2B, you have bulk, you have online, you have retail through the healthy stores. So really impressive ecosystem that you are building. But what is really interesting is that all of that is powered by your purpose, powered by your intention. As you were saying, all of this is keeping the family integrity and the family mindset and the mindfulness. That seems to be the common denominator, which is allowing you to create all of these different products and these different distribution channels. So beautiful story, Kat. Thank you very much for sharing it.
Thank you for all of your support. And I hope DHL would always be our partner and overcome so many new difficulties that will come in the future. We never know what the world will bring right now because it's so unexpected.
Of course, we're a happy partner, following the mindset of happy for everyone involved. We are definitely a very happy partner being part of your ecosystem. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pablo.